Hey guys, real quick before we get into the video, I just wanted to give you guys a quick heads up on my situation. It has been about 4 days since I've taken a break here from YouTube, and I did get the test for Corona. I am negative, but I'm just not able to hold a consistent temperature throughout the day. I'm basically in the vicinity of like 100 to 101 in the morning, and then I generally regulate in the afternoon, and in the afternoon, evening. I'm still a little bit, kind of winded, a little bit tired, which you're probably going to notice in this video. But the reason why we are putting this video together is because the person that contacted me so that we can get on board and do this, I highly respect. He has a lot of great information, and I know you guys are going to absolutely enjoy it. So again, if you guys are interested in this kind of content down the road with this particular person, please feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys hopefully when I get better. Take care. What's going on, everybody? It's Childish back at it again, coming at you with another Summoner's War video. As you guys know, Com2us has recently dropped the newest monster balance patch for the game, and we're going to take a look at it here. But as we have done before in the past, we're going to bring on a G2, G3 player by the name of Mactrosity to help us out and talk about a couple of things with relation to the units that are focused on RTA and Siege. Mactrosity, are you here, sir?
Yes, I'm
All
here.
right. We are ready to go. It's a pleasure to have you back on the channel. I'm super excited to do it because the last video that we did today, they actually enjoyed the content that you brought for us. So I'm happy to see what you got in store for us in this round.
Well, I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, buddy. All right. So again, you wanted to start out doing something a little bit different than we did in the past. This time around, we're going to be focused on RTA and we're going to be focused on Siege. Which one do you want to tackle first?
Let's do RTA first.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So hit me up with that first unit. What we got?
So there's a lot of like minor changes that I believe will make a big impact once people start finding how this energy works. So some of the minor changes that I think are going to be really big. I'll just start with Fire Monkey King.
Okay.
That Fire Monkey Wand HP recovery from 15% to 25%. It's a really big deal on Fire Monkey King when he defense breaks on that skill, and usually violent procs after it.
Mm-hmm.
So that 10% gain on healing is a big deal. Considering that Fire Monkey King is usually a unit paired with 2A Lulu, Molly, Fran. So being able to get that little bit of extra recovery keeps him alive enough a turn that can make a big deal. So like that's a pretty minor change that makes a big deal. Um, Josephine, the Water Paladin,
Yep. Huge
gaining a
change.
turn instantly, counter-attacking enemy, and then getting another turn. Like
Yeah.
that's a big
That's
deal.
massive. Yeah, that was massive. I like that.
That's a big deal. Oculate Girl, Water and Dark, HP recovery is now off of HP and attack.
Okay.
That's huge. Annabelle, Nikki, before Nikki was usually built for for attack builds anyways, but now she's going to get extra healing just off of the HP in her kit. And then Annabelle, I mean, Annabelle was built kind of hybrid. Now you can just build her straight tanky with HP and get the same amount of healing.
Gotcha.
It's a
And let me throw in a
big
question
deal.
here. Let me throw in a question here on that occult girl. So like, even though the attack, it makes sense to me, like for the attack and HPR, why it's going to be beneficial. But for somebody out there that's relatively new and understands the whole concept of the attack power going up, the HP going down here, they may be like, oh, is that really going to be a change? Because it seems like it's just going to be negated by the time of the match, going through. How is this better than the attack power overall? Just because you can make it tankier or what?
So with Annabelle, it allows her to heal more initially, which is
Okay,
a big deal for her kit.
sure.
Because Annabelle's someone that you take with high res and you're hoping, to resist or to violent out of CC, and you can turn that into, a big heal instead of just a regular heal and cleanse. It's a big heal now because it's based off her HP and attack instead of just the attack. So I mean, you can make a thick Annabelle, and that HP ratio is gonna cause a lot of healing.
Okay, okay. Sounds good.
One of my favorite changes for an RTA unit is the Lich. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
All the Liches getting increased damage by 13% is a really big deal. And Terra's is such an annoying unit to use and play against.
Yeah.
And giving him more damage when he already has additional damage artifacts, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. I actually like I mean, I love Antares, but I love the water lich too. I feel like some people are gonna mess around with that a little bit more now. Should be
I
fun.
can agree to that. I can
Yeah.
agree to that because 20% accumulation for the attack bar is a big deal,
Mm-hmm.
as is the random hits going from 3 to 4.
Yeah.
And the damage changed attack type change. That's a big deal for all three of those liches: water, wind, and dark.
Mm-hmm.
So those are really cool. I like those changes a lot.
Yeah.
One of the like more ghost-like changes that don't really affect a lot of people unless you have her would be the light beast rider. It went from just increasing your attack speed for one turn to increasing your attack speed by 35% to 20% when an enemy gets a turn, and you decrease the defense for one turn. That defense break is a pretty big deal on her kit when she's gaining constant ATB.
Sure. Yeah, I got a couple of subscribers that allow me to use their accounts, and I already thought Lightspeed Rider was pretty strong. Now with this recent change, I'm like, wow, this is gonna be fun, you know?
Yeah. And then another small change that's going to make a big difference is the Water Druid.
Sure.
That if an ally's HP falls below 30%, instead of being 30 to 40, that's a huge difference.
Right.
For him, to get the full ATB, take the turn, use his passive to heal, and then, either use his skill 3 to heal or, whatever he has up. So those are all big changes.
Yeah.
One of my favorite changes is the Light and Fire Polar Queen. Their skill 2 for Aura of Dawn, the one that applies the glancing and attack break.
Yeah.
Your attack bar increased by 10% per harmful effect ran on the enemy. When that's an AoE, that's a big deal.
Right. So
because with Brandia, applying those gives her skill 3 more damage. So she can almost take another turn and have, the debuffs to nuke.
Jeez. Yeah, that's
I like that a lot.
It's funny because I'm not a big Brandia fan, but this might make me want to like invest into her,
So you know that Feroz and I use her as a Leo counter. And with that applying attack break and glancing, you can kind of freely do that into Verd. I mean, you're obviously risking the revenge, but if you hit glancing and he has a chance to glance on those revenges, but you apply those debuffs for her to take that skill 3 with that gained attack bar, which you should lap them. So I mean, that's a pretty big deal for Nuke as a Leo counter. I like it a lot. And then all of their skill 3s, all our skill 1s, all the Polar Queens, they have a higher defense break chance. Like that's a lot.
That's great. I'm actually like really upset about like Tiana like missing as much as she does when I'm doing clean up there.
Really frustrating. I'll agree to that.
Yeah.
One of the cooler changes I really like that I may actually see play with against Rika, Nephthys, any kind of heavy CC unit is the Veramos change. So effect added. So the allies will recover their HP by 3 to 5% for each harmful effect removed. Now they added on top of that, your attack bar increases by 10% for each harmful effect remaining on the ally after attacking. So when they nerfed him to where they're only removing 1, well, now you're getting, faster ATB, which is a big deal, to cut off those cleanses. And then not just that, his Super Crush, targets immune to stun will have their attack bar increased by 50% with a 100% chance. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty sick. Yeah.
Against the Fire Monkey King who can't be, or is it Fire Monkey King who can't be stunned?
Yep.
Yeah, so like that's a big deal into something like him or stuff. Anything that can't be can't be stunned.
Right.
So that's kind of cool.
Jaeger, maybe.
And then Jaeger. That's a big deal into Jaeger. Because 50% attack bar, and when Jaegers are usually slow, is enough to put him in trouble range.
Yep.
The two big changes that everybody are going to talk about, and I'm even using them, I'm kind of glad they happened, was Okeanos and Chung Pong.
True. Yeah.
I am, as many people are, upset that Water Ryu and not in some shape or form is not on this list. Come to Us knows how we feel about that unit. A lot of people feel about that unit, so not putting him on here is a pretty big letdown. But to cover the changes, Okeanos is a huge change. Going from 4 to 6 to 3 to 5. So now, if you hit that 3 range, you're not going to AoE stun the whole team. The stun chance going up, I don't really see the stun chance being as big of a deal because that 5% sounds like a lot, but when you're missing, a whole stone chance, it's not as, the likelihood is not as the same.
Right.
So not just that, but Chung Pong. So the Chung Pong nerf is a little weird. They move the defense break in front of the strip. So what that means is Swift Chung Pong users are not going to be able to defense break or strip defense break.
Right.
Chungpung users that have somebody go before him, like when I was using with Wunsa or Water Eye, any of the other strips, it's not as big of a deal, but it is noticeable.
Okay.
I feel like that nerf to Chungpung is what they could do to him without making him useless.
Yeah. And the funny thing about it is like I know you've seen a lot more gameplay than me. The majority of the Chungpungs that I see are on Vio. Like I rarely see a Swift Chungpung user, so I'm like, is this really gonna hurt the community, or like are there Swift Chungpung?
What it hurts is people that don't use two strippers and they were using Chungpung as their main stripper.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's gonna hurt them for sure. But again, this change to me is only a turn 1 change. I mean, turn 2, or not turn 2. Moving past your first turn. I mean, do you really need to strip and defense break? Like most of the time, you're just trying to get the defense breaks.
Right.
So I mean, it is a change that is going to affect him, but it doesn't make him completely useless. His skill 3 is still pretty busted.
Yes, it is. I'm actually like, it's one of those things where I'm like, man, I hope they nerf it, but if I get it, I don't want them. I don't want them to nerf it. Oh my god.
Feels.
Yeah. So
hey. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Thinking about Water Ryu, I feel like to balance him, you just take away his speed lead. The reason why I say that is taking away his speed lead doesn't make him as free of a pick. A lot of people are like, nerf his passive by 1, or make his ATB not be able to be stolen on skill 2, but you can't really do that without nerfing Ken. So I feel like if they just take away his speed lead, then they have to take another speed lead, and then you could just ban the Ryu and then outspeed and not get cut. Or if they take another speed lead and you can't outspeed, or you think you can outspeed, you ban that speed lead, and Ryu doesn't have a speed lead, so then all of a sudden you're outspeeding, and you use units like Barbara, Ethna, and you play around him. So taking away speed lead it still keeps him in the range of if he's touched, he cuts, but it makes the drafts a little more complex. They're not as linear.
Yeah, that's an interesting take on that. Like if I was to look at Water Ryu buff, I probably wouldn't have thought about taking away the speed lead initially. I would probably looking at, like I said, reducing something on the actual skills per se that are kind of being a pain in the butt. So like that skill 3 passive.
Yeah, I mean the passive. So the problem with Water Ryu is his turn 1. It's so strong because he cuts, has speed lead, and he disrupts ATB. So just changing that passive by 1, you're still not really dealing with why he's so overpowered.
Sure.
Because he's still going to have a speed lead and he's still going to cut.
Yeah, I can respect that.
So taking away the speed lead makes the drafts a little more flexible against him, so it's not so oppressive. Because you take away one of the first turn elements that they have, so all of a sudden Ryu's not a free pick anymore because you have to pick a speed lead. So if you pick him, you're banking on cutting and disrupting.
Gotcha. And random question here, because I forgot to mention it when we were talking about Okeanos. The change from 4 to 6 to 3 to 5, not attacking as much here. It seems like we may not be able to get as much damage due to the artifacts, get the additional damage there, but the damage is also increased by 10% per hit. So do you think that's kind of negligible there, or do you think it's kind of a nerf damage-wise?
I think that 10% for most Okeanos users, because most people don't run him slot 4 HP, they run him slot 4 attack or slot 4 crit damage. I think that damage increase will matter.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of getting low key. I'm kind of getting
about it.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's 10% per hit.
Right.
So 30% at the lowest. 30% damage increase according to just the 1 from the additional damage that you're losing. That's I think the 30 is more damage.
Yeah, I'm actually I've been getting debated with like mediocre speed Okeanos, like shield will cleaves and stuff like that with like crazy damage. It's like it's so embarrassing, but it's a good unit. Yeah.
Yeah, the crit damage below keys, they hit really hard.
Yep.
So we'll move from the RTA stuff to some of the siege stuff.
All right.
I'm really excited for the Beast Monks. Most of the community knows that I don't really care for siege, but I have a lot of friends that I know that that's all they do, and SSA, and Mali, and Mithril, and I just left SW and Chill. Those guilds are all very siege focused, so these changes are really exciting for people that's their focus. The big ones are the Beast Monks and the snipers and the String Masters. So we'll start with the Beast Monks. I really like the Kumar change.
Yeah, that one is pretty
The
strong.
trick of fire where he cleanses, that's a big deal.
That is huge.
And then the wind increases defense for 2 turns. So there's going to be a lot of combos with the wind. I mean, wind works really well now with Tyrannus because Tyrannus deals more damage. It's harder to kill. I mean, even Kumar with, or not Kumar, Raitesh with a Theo, making Theo tankier because of the 2-turn defense buffs. Like, it's all a really big deal. The water is the ATB booster by 25%. I'm not sure how I feel about. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that because he tags the person that he hugs. So if he's using skill 3, he's kind of pushing that person out of the hug.
Oh yeah, I guess.
So I'm not. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but it's not negative. I would like to see interactions with it before I had a firm opinion. The light one where he gives everybody counterattack for 2 turns. That's really obnoxious.
Right.
Really obnoxious.
I know.
Because you could put that with anything that has any kind of skill 1 CC, and it's really obnoxious.
Yeah. I know JMax could have a blast with that.
Yeah. It's really good. And then recovers your HP or the ally's worst conditioning to recover the ally's target HP. So instead of you being able to like hit around and knowing what he's going to heal, now it's random. I like that a lot.
Okay.
So before you could kind of like hit him, under half, and he heal himself.
Right.
So you could kind of like control like what he was healing, and you could kill things easier. Now with it being random, it's a lot more difficult to do that.
Okay.
So I think that change is really good for all 3 of them: Kumar, Wind, and Light. Raitesh, and I can't remember Light's name.
Shazam.
Shazam, that's right.
I can't believe I remember.
And then the String Masters. So getting the attack speed getting slowed by half while playing is kind of a big deal. And then the fire attack speed getting slowed down by half. So all those slows down. That means they play the songs longer.
Right.
And then they have higher base speeds. So having the higher base speeds changed from 97 to 106. That's a big deal for the String Masters. So having a base speed of 106 and then their songs playing slower means they get the effects of the songs longer. That's kind of a big deal. So the String Masters will see usage.
Yeah.
Some people were talking about the fire one seeing usage in RTA, especially Special League. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. I was gonna say like they legit like the ones for Siege, they legit like brought them back into the meta. The Beast Punks, the String Masters, Snipers, like they're all like reasonable choices.
Relevant.
Yeah. Which is good.
And then the Snipers, I mean, all of them getting increased damage by 7%. 7% when they already hit kind of hard is kind of crazy. The hit and aim, the glancing chance from 50 to 70, there's so many things you can combo with glancing. Like, there's just so many things you can do. You can put it with Molly to have a higher glancing chance. You can, build them a little on the tankier side to know that if they do glance, like you're gonna get off that damage. Like, it makes them a lot more flexible having that hit and aim glancing go up for Fire, Wind, and Dark.
Gotcha. Out of this,
go ahead. And then the defense break for Fire going from 1 turn to 2 turns. That's huge. Yeah.
So can we say out of all the Snipers changes, the Fire one you think is gonna really stick out the most as far as usability relevance? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yes. Fire, and Dark. So Dark with that extra glancing chance. Dark has a really good kit. It's not as like crazy as it sounds on paper, but when you start messing around with it, he hits really hard. So having that extra glancing chance means he takes on less damage.
Cool.
And then I really want these assassin buffs to find a home. I really do, because when you read them, they sound really good. But before I go to the assassins, I forgot about the the Snipers. I wanted to comment that they all got guild leader skills for Fire, Wind, and Water. Those are really good leader skills. Like a Covenant getting 33% attack lead. I mean,
right.
That's huge for 4-star towers for offense.
I was gonna say, funny enough, I feel like Covenant doesn't even. I feel like he already does like crazy. Like his damage multipliers are so sick, anyways, right?
you've seen mine for
Yeah, yeah,
Leo
yeah.
counters. Yeah, so yeah, you don't have, I mean, he's very easy to build for damage.
Hmm.
But giving him a 33 lead is for offense is a big deal.
Yeah.
The Fire one getting the speed lead. So Fire got the best out of all of this. He
Yeah.
got the 24 speed lead. He got the defense break changed to 2 turns instead of 1. He got the hidden aim passive for glancing chance from 50 to 70. And then he got the increased damage. So Fire got a lot.
Fire is a beast, man.
Yeah. I really want to see his interactions with some stuff. I was talking to a couple higher end RTA players, and they were talking about how he interacts now with Rogue on team up. If he
Oh,
does hidden
wow.
pose, yeah.
That sounds
So
fun. Dude, Sean B, if you're listening,
it,
man, you got to jump on that video. I'm still sick,
does.
so
It sounds crazy. And
yeah.
then honestly, Light and Darkness for the universal leads, 25 attack power or the 19 crit rate. Those are really cool because Light Sniper Magnum is a counter to any kind of ATB boost like Megan, Bastet, anything that Bernard. He gains full ATB, so giving him that attack lead, you could just take that in RTA. Like I'm going to use Magnum in Special League, and I'm having that 25 lead can be a big deal. It's a lot of extra damage.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I'm really excited to see what people decide to do here this next season. It's gonna be fun.
I am for sure too. And then the assassins, like they all got like little things, like cooldowns lowered for wind and dark. Light got an extra turn per silence enemy, so the cooldown goes down by it. So I mean, it kind of helps them like cycle into their moves. This is a step in the right directions for the assassins, but really, and Stella's not on this list.
No,
Stella's been the one that's been used the most.
I feel like Stella's in a good place.
She's in a good place, but the rest of these assassins, they just need something like extra. Like they just need a little bit of a nudge. This is a nudge in the right direction, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
And then some of the really big changes that are kind of universal, and I would like to see where these are implemented, are the Art Master changes to Water and Darkness. These awakening effects are nuts. So the glancing chance and the removal chance going from 50 to 75 for Water Art. Hey, gang. Very big deal. And then Dark getting increased attack speed by 15%, so his base speed going up 15. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
I mean, Dark needed something. This may be what he needed.
Yeah, and I feel like the accuracy aspect of it. I don't know what it is about the elemental ones. Maybe it's the fact that they can't, really glance so much. Like I feel like accuracy is just like, like you can get a little bit more, but I feel like you're still gonna do good because you really don't have to worry about like the elements and stuff like that.
I agree with you. I agree. With you.
All your dark units never. I feel like they never fail.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
So I mean, those are pretty much the changes. I'm affected by quite a few of these changes. Like everybody knows that I played Chungpung, Okeanos, Wunsa. So next season I won't be playing that as much. I'll be branching out, playing some new stuff, which is kind of exciting. Overall, this balance patch, I'd say this is not our worst balance patch, but it's probably about in the middle for me.
I would say the middle as well too.
Yeah, like not having Water Ryu on here and not having like Christina and some of the LDs like Grogan and a couple other ones that like really need some love and they've needed love forever. So not having that stuff on this patch when it could have been, it's kind of disheartening.
Yeah, like
especially Christina.
Yeah, that's what
like
I'm saying.
Worst Nat 5 in the game. It seems like.
Hey, there's always got to be one though. There's always got to be one.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But when you raise the bar, it becomes a new thing, and it just keeps going.
Yeah, no doubt. So, any other things you want to add with regards to units, or did we cover them all there?
No, I think I covered it all. Unless you got some other questions.
No. Actually, funny enough, I had a couple of things that I wanted to drop, but that's the beauty about what you do, Mac, and that's why I'm so appreciative of it. You don't just go in there and like read it verbatim and then just let it go. You kind of explain why and kind of break down specific scenarios so people that can understand, regardless of how much experience they have, they can really get a grasp on it and try to use it you know, to their advantage, depending on how they play. So I really do appreciate you going out of your way to provide this information. And as always, thank you so much for being on the channel.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. So once again, y'all, my man Mactrosity, he is a Twitch streamer on the global side. His link is going to be in the description down below, twitch.tv/Mactrosity. If you go and check into there, check him out there on stream. And if I recall correctly, Mactrosity, you are still doing some coaching. You're still doing some account optimization for people. So do you want them to connect with you on Twitch, or do you have an email you want to shout out there?
We could just do anything on Twitch, you guys. Stop by my channel, drop a follow. If you have some questions about any of the stuff that he just spoke about, you can inbox me on Twitch. I'm usually pretty active on looking and finding that information to get back to you guys.
Awesome. Thank you for the information there. So that's going to be it, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's your boy Child, Mactrosity with ChildishPlays. Check it out. Take care, and we will see you all in the next one. I'm out.